Hello and welcome to Connections, Hangout on Connections, a forum for relationship, expressions, and healing. This is episode 82, and the topic is how to get your message out in the world with our very special guest, Denise Wakeman. Connections forums offer insights and healing conversations about relationship, personal expressions, and self-development. And we want to give you the tools and inspiration to handle the issues which come up for you or anyone sooner or later. And you can watch past episodes on our replay site, hangoutonconnections.com. I am Margarita Cristalotis, helping stressed professional women overcome stress and struggle and discover their purpose in life and business. As an intuitive mentor and healer, I love seeing clients flourish when they experience transformational healing in their life. So to learn about more about me, you can go to my website, thecrystallotus.com. So now over to you, Heidi.
Yeah, thank you, Margarita. I'm Heidi Hörnlein, or Adelheid Hörnlein, which is in my Google Plus profile, but everybody calls me Heidi, who knows me. I am a coach, a life coach, and also a voice coach. I worked for 20 years getting out the voice of people. And as today we have the invisibility topic, getting out your voice is also part of becoming visible acoustically. So going back before I present Denise, I'm also a Hangout host together here with Margarita, and we have with my husband Mark Davenport, we have the Wisdom Factory, where we introduce cutting-edge topics in all areas of life inspired by integral theory. And many of you maybe know that I am here in Italy, and we have a guest house and a retreat center, and we invite you to come here. And our website is thepowerofrelationship.com. So far to us, and now to you, Denise. Hello, Denise.
Hello. Thank you so much for the invitation to be on your show. I'm thrilled to be here, and you know I love the topic of visibility. You know, I chat about that all the time everywhere. So I'm Denise Wakeman, and I'm a host of Adventures in Visibility. It's a live video show like this one. And I've been on Hangouts since 2012, I think, and I'm also experimenting with Blab. You've heard of that one. Anyway, I work with small business owners, solo professionals, authors, speakers, coaches, and consultants to help them leverage the internet to build more visibility and build their credibility and create an audience for their products and services. I do coaching one-on-one. I also do programs, so you can find me at denisewakeman.com.
This is wonderful. So you said visibility is important to get out your voice. You know, I talk about voice, but it's not only the physical voice, it's the voice which you have in the world. And when you have a business and you want to earn some money, I mean, who comes and knocks at your door and says, would you please come and do that for me? If they even don't know what you are doing, you know. So invisibility is a big topic for many of us, and I've followed you for a while, Denise, and I think you do a great job to get people out of invisibility and help them to come into visibility. And I'm wondering, how was it for you that you did do that? What, you know, how did you create this passion for this topic?
Right. Well, I was invisible for most of my working life. Start with that. I was always the behind-the-scenes person. Before the internet, I was mostly working in retail and the arts, and supporting other people, managing bakeries, managing art galleries, working in museums. When I discovered the web, I knew I was at home, and because it just spoke to me. I knew I could, because I'm an introvert, and I could be myself on the web, and I didn't have to deal with anybody. I could just sit behind the monitor and do my thing. So in 1996, my former husband and I moved to Canada, and we were in a very remote area in eastern Ontario, and we were starting a business there, a coaching business, as a matter of fact, and we had no idea how to find an audience, and so we started, I jumped on the web. Well, I was behind the scenes. He was the coach, he was the extrovert, he was the person who worked with clients, and I was very happy to sit at the computer and figure out how to get more visibility for our business. I didn't really know what it was called then, what we were doing, but it was online marketing. So that's what we did for 6 years, and then our marriage ended, so I moved back to Los Angeles, and I realized that what I did for that business, we grew it to a 6-figure business. I came back to LA, I was on my own, and I realized I could do that for other people. So that's how it started, but I realized that if I was going to have a business, I had to actually step out in front of the spotlight or into the spotlight. I could not be the behind-the-scenes person where I was very comfortable. So I had to go from being invisible to visible really, really fast. And because I'm an active experimenter and I love to try new things, it wasn't too difficult for me to do that online. It was a very natural place for me to do that online. And so that's where I started, and I had to just get out there and meet people and talk to people and figure out a way to be seen. And that's what I did. And now I help other people do the same thing. But I understand the desire to be invisible because a lot of people aren't comfortable with it.
Yeah, and I think it's exactly the word, comfortable. We sort of hide because we want to be comfortable. But to get out and really do what we need to do in our lives, we have to accept to go into a zone of being not comfortable, no, at the edge. So how did you manage to do that?
Well, by being online, that is a comfortable place for me. I didn't go to live in-person networking events. That just seemed like hell to me. So I really took advantage of what the web had to offer. And since I had been studying online marketing since 1996, I knew a lot about what you needed to do. You needed a website, you needed an email newsletter. So that's what I started with. Now, this was, of course, before social media. There was no Facebook, there was no Twitter or Google Plus or Hangouts, anything like that. So I used what was available. And because I'm not afraid to try new things, I'm an adventurer in all ways, it was pretty easy for me to do that while I'm sitting behind my computer because, as I said, I didn't really have to interact with people on a face-to-face live, interaction. Now, I'm perfectly fine with doing that. It just is more comfortable for me just to, hang out in my office and do stuff online because what I've realized is that online I can bring forth my inner extrovert.
Wow.
And I have no trouble with that. I have no trouble with it at all. So, because of the nature of the web, there's so many tools now, and with every tool that was introduced, whether it was MySpace or blog, actually, let's go back, it was blogging. So in 2004, I started my first blog, and I realized that was a game changer for not only me, but for every small business owner, solo business owner out there, because you could finally publish content by yourself without depending on a web person or anything like that. And right there, by publishing content, immediately, live, fast, in your own words, without paying a fortune to get it on the web, you were starting to get visibility. And the more you published, the more people found you. The more people found you, the more opportunities you had, the more invitations you get. And I mean, this was very much my experience. And I know it was a little different in 2004 than it is now. There's a lot more competition, but it still works. trust me, I work with clients every day, and it still works. You have to work a little harder, but it still works. So
I have a question for you, Denise, and that is,
sure.
what what kind of clients do you have? Do you work with somebody who have a little bit experience, or you take somebody right from the scratch, or you work with all kinds of levels?
I work with all levels. The people who come to me are usually pretty serious about getting their message out. So, for example, right now I'm working with several authors who have books coming out in the next few months. Some of them have established, online presence. It might not be as big as they want it to be, but they're on Facebook, they've got a website, they've got, Twitter, etc. Whereas others have nothing. So we are starting from scratch because they know, well, they've figured out finally that without that, you have to have an audience. Otherwise, no one's going to see you. They're not going to pay attention to you. They're not going to buy your book. They're not going to buy your products. They're not going to buy your services because they don't know about you, and there's a million other people out there who do have a presence that they're going to find instead. So whatever it takes, I develop strategy for them. I hold their hand. It's kind of like done with you. I don't build websites, or post status updates, but I work with them so that they learn how to do it so that they can then turn that over to an assistant or do it themselves.
That's a blessing. I wish I've had you in my back pocket way back. It's very helpful for when you're starting out to have a little hand holding. And I mean, I just did it all by myself, right?
Right.
And
I did too.
And I still can need a lot of help. So doing this show and having the community and my co-host Heidi here is very helpful. The one thing is... Go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say that it's very helpful to have a guide show you the way. Not everybody is comfortable just exploring. Me, I'm really comfortable exploring. There's something new, I'm on it, and I figure that's part of my job too, but a lot of people don't feel that way. They're not comfortable, so.
Yeah, the way with strategies, that's a very good point, to have a strategy. Somebody thinks that, oh, well, I'll just get a website and post something there. But that's not enough, right? And so how do you work about creating the strategy for a new business, let's say?
Well, it's typically we need to start with, what is their message, what are they trying to get out into the world, and very often something has really sparked that. So they're writing a book, let's say, and so they know what the message of the book is. So we need to build that into everything that they are putting online as well. And so we look at that, and then what do we need to get in front of the right people? Where are the right people? Who are the right people? Let's start there. Who are the right people? For who's the audience for that message? So we need to take a look at that and figure out where they are. You need to get an online presence, so you need to have your own real estate, your own digital real estate. So a blog site is what I recommend, so you've got your website, and the blog with it, so that you can be publishing content that gets indexed, that helps you get found by people looking for your solution. And so we got to lay that foundation. I mean, the foundation is so critical before you can really start just like, hey, I'm on Facebook, etc. Then we need to look at how to attract that perfect audience to our business, right? So we need an email list because you've got to be able to communicate with people. So that's a foundational piece as well. So that's what we start with, is laying out the foundation, how to attract the right people, and then we look at, how do we get that message out onto the other platforms that we choose.
So we have a question here, Heidi. Seeing we're not broadcasting.
I'm trying to figure that out. It is not broadcasting neither on YouTube nor on the Google Plus page. People say that they tried it out, but it's not doing so. Where does it go? Where is it visible?
It says it's live. So I had this happen to me once too, and I just kept going, and it turned out that it was recorded.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it says live here.
I had the exact same thing happen. I just said, I'm sorry, we'll get you the replay, and you know, that's unfortunate because people can't interact, but you know what happens. It's very bizarre when that happens.
Yeah.
And this is why people are jumping off Google Plus. It's too unpredictable. Yeah. Sorry to say.
So let's just continue here then. And
see, we're invisible. What a weird, like, how ironic. We are invisible to our audience right now.
So let's make that replay so valuable that it's going to be viewed by millions.
There you go. There you go.
So the next question I have for you, Denise, is that, okay, so you have somebody like in our level, let's say, we have a small following, and, you know, we're just starting out to get a little bit presence and have a few clients and a few programs or stuff like that. So in that level, what would you suggest as a strategy for somebody like us, like Heidi and myself?
Oh, okay. I get it. Let's. We're going to do some hot seat coaching here, huh?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm so nervous.
Well, you're both coaches. You know how this works. Okay, so why don't you tell me, what are you doing right now to get visible? How are you reaching people right now?
Well, I have an email list. I send email to that list. I have an opt-in thing on my website, and I get a few people now and then signing up. I have like several lists also for one for the online and one for my newsletter. And then I do webinar with the topics that I have, and some people come to them and are very happy, but I would like to have a 10x size more of my traffic and my following.
Okay, so are you blogging?
I did blogging, like done some posts now and then, but I haven't been very consistent with it. I post on my blog maybe once a month, and now this week I posted 3 posts this week.
Okay, so consistency is one of the most important things for building visibility. It's absolutely one of the most important things. People have to see you and be aware of you, whether they're reading your content, every single time you post something, but they're seeing it. They've got that awareness that you're out there, that you're doing things, that you're actually you're active, and that is a huge part of visibility, is being active and connecting with people. Your thing's all about connection, relationships, etc. So looking for as many ways to connect with people is really, really important. So every time you're doing an event like this, let's say a Google Hangout, your show, how many ways are you getting the word out about your show? Posting it on.
Yeah, we have a website, the Hangouts on Connection website that we're both posting every week on, right? And then I might do to put some of the episodes on my website too, and Heidi.
And we do the invites and the posts and repost it. And I did a tweet before, only one today. I sort of was not aware that the time passed. I wanted to, in the last moment, put another one on, and I forgot it. And things like that. Okay,
so the more ways that you can promote your show, and we're just talking about this as an example here. It needs to be cross-promoted everywhere. on LinkedIn if you're active there, on Facebook if you're active there, on Google+, obviously, Twitter, on Pinterest if you're active there. So, this is the key to attracting more people, is that you got to be where they are. So looking at the topic that you have, and probably who would you say is your primary audience?
Well, it's our clients would be the people who needs our services, like healing and solving emotional trauma. And for Heidi, maybe more. I can't speak for her, but it's people who wants to learn about singing or develop their voice or heal their relationship.
So do you work primarily with women, men?
Yes.
Is there an age group that you work with? Is there a specific kind of healing that you focus on? All of these things, the more specific you can be, the more you can hone in on your message and talk directly to those people. And others will come along too, but the more specific you can be with your message, the better it will be, the easier it will be to attract those people to what you're doing. And then once you have that down, then all your messages are direct to those people.
Yeah.
And that's a very important way to get visibility, be seen by the right people for your business. So you want to look at, well, who's the client that I love working with the most, and what are their characteristics, and then really hone in on those characteristics. And once you do that, then you can write status updates directly to that person. You can share other content that is directly focused on that person. And they're going to say, oh, she's speaking directly to me. That's my problem, or I want that solution. And once that's happening, then more and more people start coming to you.
But I've gone through that process, right? But I think that it could be improved in many, many levels, right? So I put the name. I have an ideal client name, and then I searched on the internet for that name, and I have a photo on my avatar on my laptop where I'm writing, and so. But I just started that in the beginning of a few months ago, and then one of my clients said, "You mentioned all my problems in the last webinar." So I got a little first glimpse of that the pointing or the message is at least working for her, and so this is cool. But to bring
she's probably not the only one, so you're probably talking to a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, it's very interesting to discuss, and I hope many other people, coaches, healers, and therapists, they're a little bit afraid of being salesy, right? And visibility and salesmanship, it sort of goes hand in hand, that in people's minds.
They're not hand in hand in my eyes. Visibility to me, is about having a consistent message, a consistent look and feel, a consistent way that you are connecting with people, and doing it on a regular basis so that they don't forget you, because there's so much competition out there, right? So that you want people to constantly be seeing you wherever they are. And this is, again, let me just state this. In my opinion, there are no rules. You can do this how you want to do it. I'm not going to say you have to do this, you have to do that. There is no other way. There's a lot of people who do that, and I'm not one of those. It's got to work for you. In the early days when I was teaching people business blogging, it was like, okay, you must post 3 times a week, and it has to be 500 words or more, and da-da-da-da-da. And now it's like, it's got to work for you. Best practice is at least once a week, but it's got to work for you, and it's got to be truly who you are in how you connect with people. But so to me, it's not about selling. Selling is a result of the visibility. However, you do need to have calls to action, because just posting, oh, here's how you do this, and that's the end. I mean, you leave your reader or your viewer or your listener not knowing what to do.
Yeah,
so you need to give them a next step.
Yeah, and that's kind of a little tricky, because you don't want to jump into the heavy duty stuff. Let's say you want to just ease them in so that they can see, yes, this is for me, and no, that's not for me, but yes, this is for me, so that they actually doesn't need to be pushed to choose to buy something. You know,
well,
like
a call to action isn't always about buying something.
Mm-hmm.
It can be to comment.
Yeah.
Comment. You know, a call to action can be to get your free gift. Let's say a call to action is to join your webinar. A call to action is to get your ebook. A call to action is to RSVP for the hangout, that kind of thing. So the thing about a call to action is that when you can encourage and some active movement from your reader or listener, viewer, etc., from somebody in your audience, when you can encourage them to take an action, they have now stopped being passive. They're now that one step closer to being connected with you, because they've actually, clicked on something or typed their name into a form. Something like that is moving them one step closer to you. So don't think about calls to action as always buying something, but you do have to make that offer somewhere.
Yes, yeah. Well, I hear what you're saying, and maybe I came across as thinking that, but yeah. So like, I think for me, it's like when you meet the person that you want to marry, you have to sort of see, is there something there I need, or is there something there that is, so that there is a mutual benefit of the relationship, whatever it is, as a marriage or a business. Or a coaching situation, whatever. I mean, that's what I was trying to say there.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And how can I serve this person? And what solution? How can I help them? And when they are giving you that information in whatever way that may be, whether it's subtle or direct, then it's responding with helping them take an action to take one step further, whether it's trying something out or giving an action step at the end of a blog post even.
Mm-hmm.
That's a call to action. So there's lots of range there. It does. And then eventually, when they're connected with you, then you say, and by the way, if you want to go a step further, here's the thing that will help you do that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what you say, Heidi, there about this particular thing.
Yeah, I'm unmuted now, yeah. I'm a little bit concerned with people who try to give suggestions what to do in this case and so on. So I'm sorry, I'm a little bit out. The only thing is I really agree what you say, Denise, and I really know that I'm not yet as far as Margarita is, and also in deciding what I want to be known for at the end, because I'm sort of, all my life doing a lot of things and interested in a lot of things and being quite good in a lot of things. So I have a real problem to get myself into a niche. So I'm waiting for the illumination.
And I think that it's about just starting somewhere, because you don't have to be locked into one thing either. It's like you start somewhere, build that, and then you can bring in the other things. We all, as human beings, I think most of us have many different areas that we're interested in, and some are for income, some are for causes, some are, just for our life. So it's finding the thing that, focusing on the thing. If creating an income stream, if creating a business is the top priority, then you start there. Like, where's the money? What's the solution I have that I can offer? And then creating your strategy to get to that offer.
Yeah, and for me personally, it would be the voice coaching, which I will try to do on internet. I have done 3 or 4 trial sessions also with Margarita. It sort of works. It doesn't work like in person where you can touch the people and direct them into their body and so on. But there is ways to do that. So this is my, let's say, longest expertise I have for all the life, let's say.
Right.
And I probably will go there. Only, but when I did it live and in person, people then came to me, and then the students came, and somebody else, they brought them to me, and then it was always fun doing these sessions.
Right. But I think virtual sessions, we have the technology that you can connect so much better now, and it may not be perfect, but there's probably ways that you can do it. I mean, and that's building up an audience for a retreat,
Yeah, sure. And you know what, I try to find people who with voice coaching don't only see singing, because it is when you develop the potential of your voice, you speak in a different way. You don't speak anymore like this. There are so many hangout, feminine hangout hosts who speak like this, and after a while you really get annoyed. You cannot hear this voice anymore. It's exaggerated, but I know when I hear these people talk, and you are not part of that, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you have the much more embodied voice, But when I hear these sort of hen-like voices, and they don't know that they have a different one, that they could have much more, transmit much more relaxation, transmit much more profoundness, of the message also, what they are having. But I encounter that people think the voice they have is their voice, and that's it. They have no idea that it can be different, and that's...
Well, there you go. That's your educational tool right there. To attract people to work with you is a series of blog posts, a series of videos, a series of audios. I mean, you could be doing all kinds of demo stuff right there with a call to action of let's do a Skype or whatever hangout.
Blab. I think I will do that on Blab. I'm excited about that, about the possibility to.
Yeah.
I don't have much Twitter following, but I think it will come, and then people just come in and see what it is. And I think it's much. I sort of have waited for that platform for this sort of thing, to get out there, Jesus, the little things, and I'm really curious.
I see all kinds of opportunities for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should explain what a Blab is. Denise, can you explain that?
Okay, Blab is a new live streaming platform that, let's see, how can I explain it? I've been on one, and I'm hosting my first one after this, so I'm probably not the best person to explain it, but I will try. So it's a live streaming platform that is connected with Twitter. It's not owned by Twitter, but it's got a connection with Twitter, or an integration with Twitter, let me say that. So it's really easy for your viewers to share, to tweet out what you're doing, and people just jump on. It's amazing. Anyway, you can have up to 4 people on a Blab on video. There is a stream for comments and questions that people are typing in. It's a chat stream. The other side is the share with Twitter. So in the center are 4 squares, and each one is a video. The host can block squares So if you're doing an interview, but if you have them open, then people can click on a square and ask to join. So hop into the video, hop into the streaming video and ask questions, comment, do whatever, be part of the interview, whatever you're doing. It's the engagement and interaction has really taken off. It's much more engaging in a way than Google Hangouts because it's simpler to use. There's not so many hoops to jump through to get one started and to bring people in and that sort of thing. All they have to do is have a webcam and a speaker, and they click join and they're in. When the host approves them. You can record a blab or not record it. If it's not recorded, then when it ends, it goes away. When it's recorded, then it stays on your blab profile as a replay. The blab host, if you've recorded it, you receive an email a little while later with a link to the MP4 file and the MP3 file, so you can embed it on your own blog, upload it to YouTube, whatever. So it's a pretty straightforward and simple tool from what I can tell. The developers are highly engaged with their audience right now. They jump on blabs. They're in the comment stream constantly asking questions. What can be improved? What features do people want? The beauty of it right now is that it's very simple, and people are hoping it stays that way instead of just piling on the features. So we'll see. That's the best I can get.
Yeah, you will have to show afterwards. Also, nobody sees us live, but they can see it then also in the replay when they go to Blab. I don't know actually where to find the replays. Do you know that yet?
On Blab?
Yeah.
You go to the person who hosted it is that's where the replays live on their profile.
Oh, okay, good.
So you can see. At the top of their profile page, it'll say scheduled replays live or something. I can't remember what it says right now, but something like that. So.
Wonderful. And I think this is also a possibility, this platform, for more informality. So people are more, just jump in. And this will help people to become visible because they are not so, the lighting as it is the best practice in Hangouts, everything done and blah blah blah. No, you just jump in and jump out, jump in and jump out, and so people might really get used to be on camera. Because,
Well, my show coming up after this is with somebody who does not like to be visible at all, but she's a client who's willing to follow my lead. She will. Because she wasn't visible and she wasn't getting enough clients. And so we've been working on her social media strategy, and I said, well, why don't you come on a blab with me? I mean, I can't get any more visible than that. So that's the thing. The people that I work with, I want them to be open to trying new things, open to adventure, open to experimentation, because that's the way that you move forward in not only your business, but in your life.
Yeah. You mentioned before that you are doing a course and several programs. Would you tell people where, how, and so on?
Well, right now I am wrapping up 6 months of a program called the Online Visibility Challenge. And that's been a really, really fun program. I have anywhere between 30 and 50 people each month, and each month we focus on a different topic. So we focused on blogging one month, we focused on micro content, visual content, social media, and this month, the final month, we're doing social video. So when I talk about social video, I'm not talking about long form YouTube, I'm talking about 30-second video on Instagram, short videos on Facebook, because they get much more engagement than posting a link to a YouTube video. So how do you do that? What are the best practices for that? Twitter video. And we're also going to be having a session on Blab, Periscope, and Meerkat. And I'm bringing on our good friend Mia Voss for that because she's all over these tools. And so she's going to be my guest for the students this week coming up on and talking about that.
Yeah, I admire you and her. You jump into and explore everything. The technical barrier is completely removed.
I don't worry about the technical barrier. You know, it's like I'll figure it out. And I have found that with platforms like this, if you just say, you're just honest and direct with your audience and say, listen, anything can happen here, just like today. Something happened and there's nothing we can do about it. We can keep moving forward. And most people are very forgiving. If you get dropped and you come back and just say, hey, sorry, it's an adventure, because that's what it is. That's why I call my show Adventures in Visibility, because it's about exploring and going beyond your comfort zone and finding new ways to connect with the people that you want to serve. So you gotta be willing to do that. If you just stay in your little space, nothing's going to happen.
And Google Hangouts have taught us to be resilient and to go with the moment. I remember a show where you were kicked out, I think, you as the host, about, I don't know, several months ago. And, if you get it the first time to go into tilt and think, oh, God, and now I do this and this, and after a while you say, okay, that's what it is. And poor people, I mean, unfortunately, they cannot see us and they cannot give the comments, which is so nice here on Google Hangouts, which is not yet in this sense on Blab,
there's comment. There's a whole comment stream going.
Yeah, but I mean, bring it on the screen is not yet possible there,
right.
No? Yeah.
Right. You can't pull them on. Yeah.
And then you even lose them when they are coming too quickly. The one you wanted to read is gone.
But another fun thing that also started with Periscope. On Periscope you can tap it and you give the person hearts, saying that you like their video. Well, on Blab there's two little hands that you can tap, and so it's like clapping, that kind of thing. So it's like this immediate feedback situation, and that's pretty powerful for the person on screen to see, okay, I'm resonating with my audience.
Yeah, I noticed that when then these little things come up and the numbers increase, it feels good.
Yeah. There's an energy about it, and partially because it's new and in beta and all that, but it's also people are excited about it because it is an easy platform to get started with.
Yeah, and hopefully not so many glitches. We will see in time what is coming up.
Yep.
Margarita, I think we are at the end. What do you think?
Yeah,
okay.
And I mean, my takeaway here is amazing because it also reinforces my passion about being online, and it was a really great opportunity to actually pick your brain there, Denise, so that we could. I got a couple of really good tips here from you, and then maybe other people can actually gain this awareness also about their own marketing and visibility. So I am really excited that you were here. So that's my takeaway, and I hope we can have you back at some point.
Live in broadcast.
yeah, live. Well, we're live, just nobody can see us. So I think that is the greatest thing. We're invisible,
This is a joke of the universe, isn't it?
It is, totally. Couldn't have planned it this way, right?
What does it mean? What shall we think? What shall we learn out of that?
Just keep moving forward.
Yeah. Come out of invisibility, whatever it needs to do. Even if it's not now, then it's later.
Exactly. As long as it actually recorded, and we won't know, right? Until later. As long as it's recorded, then we're all good.
Yeah.
Gives you another opportunity to connect with your audience and let them know when it is available.
Yeah. Thank you. And I'm
You're
really
welcome.
happy that you responded to me so kindly and came on the show, and
Oh, you're welcome.
wonderful. And I'm following you a little on the distance. I was considering to do the challenge, but you know, I have so many things going on, and I thought, no, I cannot do another
Yeah.
program. It's just too much. I'm trying to learn all the things myself, as Margarita does too, and the day has, I think, still only 24 hours.
Yep. You got to pick and choose your battles for sure.
I think the recording got live now because it was starting on my page there, so it works. And we now have four viewers right now.
Oh, just in time to say, adios.
Yes.
Adios, adios. Bye bye.
Okay, we'll see
Bye.
you
Thank you
next
so
time.
much. Have an adventurous day.